This is a legendary Honda VFR800. I picked this bike up for an incredible £1,250. For that money, you get around 100 horsepower, a single-sided swing arm, a V4 with VTEC, and a reputation for being one of the most reliable motorcycles ever built. And this is a whopping great big turbo from Temu. The question is, what happens when Honda's most reliable V4 meets a Temu turbo? Now the reason we picked this bike up so cheap is because one, it's rather tatty, but two, and the more pressing concern, is the warning light on the dashboard. That warning light means something. What it means, I have no idea yet. Even though the warning light is on the dash, it seems to ride pretty good. That is a wonderful noise. Supposedly it has VTEC at around 7,000 RPM. Oh yeah. Oh, it's noticeable. Now the thing is, before we install this Temu turbo, we really need to get an idea of this bike's actual performance. So we're on our way to BSD in Peterborough to see how much power this Honda VFR is producing.
It's got, I mean, that's what you expect.
106 at the wheel.
That's where the VTEC kicks in just there. Thing is, with these, you pick about 20 off the line, different year models, different mileage, and they're all about the same.
Okay, so we've seen what the VFR can do on the dyno. Now it's time to turn this VFR into a Temu turbo monster. I've actually picked up a couple of Temu turbo options because, well, I think this larger turbo was probably a little bit too optimistic, whereas this smaller, tiny turbo is likely more suitable to an 800cc V4 engine. We've also got a couple of silencers, a boost gauge, a blow-off valve, and a air filter that's probably too big now. I'm super excited to find out what happens when I install this turbo. So, let's crack on with the work. The VFR800 was built for comfort and reliability, not for squeezing in extra hardware. But if we're going to give this bike the taste of Temu Boost, the first step is stripping it down, pulling off the fairings and giving us our first proper look at that V4 layout. And more importantly, it shows just how little room we've got to work with. Now at this point, it's kind of a reality check because installing a turbo isn't exactly plug and play. It requires custom mounts, custom manifolds, oil feeds, basically the kind of work that requires professional help. With the bike rolled into the van, it was off to the machine shop in Hinckley. This place is a DIY, pay-as-you-go engineering workshop. They've got welding, machining, lathe, tyre machines, powder coating, pretty much everything you need to take an idea and actually build it. You simply just book in, roll up, and get to work with the right tools and support around you. Now this is Bob from the machine shop, who is basically going to try and help me fabricate this Temu turbo onto a Honda VFR800 because it's going to be so easy, isn't it?
Yeah. First thing we need to do is find a place for the turbo to go.
Yes.
It being a V4, there's not much room for it. It's a well-packaged bike. That means all the parts are really close together. Yeah. And we've got something like the size of a small child to try and cram into the fairing somewhere. So we need to try and find a place for that. It's going to be quite a challenge, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to allow you to take the lead because I have no idea what I'm doing.
It's absolutely tiny. I've never really seen a turbo this small. Normally, on a bike, you'd be putting it down on the front of the engine in front of the cylinders. But because this is a V4, we'd need to reroute the rear cylinder exhaust pipes around to the front, which gives it a very long length, very hard to do. We're going to have a look around the bike and see if we can get it other places.
It's going to be quite complicated. I'm going to leave it to Bob to decide where the turbo is going to be situated.
So I've been thinking, I've seen this on a few motocross bikes and other bikes that have really tight packaging. They put it under the rear subframe, so literally under the seat and over the rear tyre. So let's have a go at that. I think that'd be pretty fun.
An under-seat turbo. I actually like the sound of that. The VFR wasn't designed with spare space in mind, so that means cutting out a section under the seat to make room. Chopping the bike to bits. Ha! Once that's opened up, I'll mock up a cardboard template the first step in turning flat steel into a proper mounting plate, and suddenly we've got the beginning of a turbo cradle. After that, it's down to the prep work, cleaning the paint off the frame so Bob can lay down some welds. This is the moment where the Temu Turbo goes from an idea to actually being part of the bike.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to cut across this, turn that way,
Okay.
so start aiming towards it.
With the mounting plate in place, the real fabrication work begins. And this is where I have to take a step back and let Bob take over. He starts by building a custom exhaust feed into the turbo, then fabricates a plate to act as a plenum for the intake side. It's serious engineering, way beyond anything I could manage. But just as things start taking shape, we hit our first major snag.
So the exhaust comes in here, spins this little fan in here, that's a little pump, and it makes high pressure air, and we need to get the high pressure air from there to the airbox. Honda being Honda, packaged really well. That means that all the clearances for everything is very, very small. Jake has come up with a really good idea, running several little hoses to make up the diameter of a big hose. Luke has had another good idea about drilling a hole at the back of the chassis and using the chassis as the pipe, so we can pipe from the inside of the chassis straight into the airbox. We still don't know what we're going to do, but whatever it is, it's definitely going to be fun.
One of the biggest challenges with a turbo is making sure the engine actually gets the right amount of air. If the boost pipe is too small, pressure can build up quickly, but the volume of air reaching the engine is restricted. Right, you're not going to believe this ingenious idea to get around the lack of space for boost pipes. Come and check this out. This is outrageous. Bob, please explain.
This is all theoretical. We couldn't get any decent sized tubing through the bike, so we routed 4 pipes through. We've got 2 of the tubes going to the front, and we've got 2 of the tubes going to the back. We've no idea if it'll work. We've never seen anything done like this on a bike like this, and we've never seen a, what are we going to call it? Cluster turbo? Cluster. We're going to turn it over. We don't have any oil pipes going to this yet, but we don't want this to spin up to speed. We just want to see if it moves. That turned. Can you see that turning?
It's turning very
It's not going to
slightly.
start because we're not fuel tank up. Oh yeah. But it turned.
Do it again.
Do it again. It's working. Yeah, I'm happy.
Yes! Not bad for day one. The turbo's spinning and the dream's alive. It's another day. We're back at the machine shop. We're going to go in and see where we're at with this Honda VFR with the Temu Turbo. Okay, so silencer has been welded on, but we know we've got a replacement silencer for that. I will let Bob know that that needs to come off. Hoses have been cut down. They're looking a lot tidier. And we can see an oil feed. Do you know what? Every time I see this VFR with this crazy turbo install, I look at all of the hoses and I think this is absolutely wild. God knows what's going to happen when we get it finally running at the end of this video, so stick around because it should be comical. Before we can even think about hitting the starter, the bike needs to go back together. Thermostat, injector rail, inlets, intake plenum, every bolt tightened is one step closer to hearing this Temu Turbo VFR fire up for the very first time. So the main man has turned up and he's going to show us through what's left before we can get this finally started and rocking and rolling. So Bob, what are we saying?
Oh, right, it's getting serious now. We need to seal this airbox down. You've put the airbox down.
Yes.
It's all bolted in again, that's all good.
I hope I've done it all right.
We need to put the oil return, we need to drill a casing.
We're very, very close.
40 minutes?
40 minutes.
Put the timer on.
Timer. Yeah. Yeah, I actually cannot wait for this to fire up. I just want to hear it fire up into life and make some cool turbo noises.
What we're going to do now is drill into this engine cover. We're going to have the oil feed return pipe from the turbo. It can go in many different places, but as this is all kind of proof of concept, we'll say, we're just going to drill the top of this engine case here and just let it feed back in on top of the primary gears.
Sounds good to me. I'm just watching and learning. The turbo spins at insane speeds and relies on a constant flow of oil to stay alive. Once that oil's done its job, it has to drain freely back to the engine. If it can't, the turbo floods and things can go wrong very fast. With the return in place, there's only one thing left to do. See if this Temu Turbo VFR will actually fire up. We're going to go around the bike very quickly, just double check we are certainly ready for this first start. We've got the fuel tank back on. Battery is hooked up. Look at this contraption. Absolutely incredible stuff. So Bob, do you want to do the honours? Excited. Yeah. Oh, it's spinning. Well, it runs. Oh, I should mention as well, there was a slight modification to the oil drain. So we've put another hose pipe on the bike and you can clearly see it's working. It's obviously gravity fed, so the oil's coming down and it's going into this side casing.
I'd say she's not running right because it's not getting enough air.
Another turbo on the turbo. Take the 4 intake hoses off the turbo, then if it's running off atmosphere,
Or use the compressor, blowy.
only getting up to 2k revs.
So a positive being the turbo's spinning, it's draining oil, plus it's not set up for a turbo, is it? So
So I think what we should do is just unplug what we've done, not completely unplug it,
Yeah.
but open up the airbox, turn it on, see if it works. If it works, then we know that the airbox is a restriction. We have to find another way to try and get air to it.
Okay, so obviously the bike isn't running correctly. Could be my fault, I'm not sure yet, but what we're doing now, well, Bob's doing, is going to lift the airbox off and we're going to double check a couple of things and see if I'm to blame. So far, bolting a Temu turbo onto this VFR has been absolute chaos, but such a fascinating experiment. Now it's all about setting it up properly, so make sure you subscribe for part 2.